Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. Today's episode's coming to you at 6 p.m. Yeah, it's later today. I don't have a good reason why. I woke up early, so you would think I would have recorded earlier, but all that happened now is I'm tired, and I didn't feel like doing anything. So I just kind of sat here for a while, but I'm ready. You ready? We're gonna play Hellhorned for the next 2 days because I think, one, we absolutely want Hellhorned for spikes, and two, it doesn't really matter what we play with Firelight. But I think Hellhorn is one of the better pairs because you have Horn Warrior and you have Torch to kill your own fate on turn 1 sometimes. Both of those are good. I'm going Hellhorn today. Also, Hellhorned Imps are 1 space units for the early game for Firelight. Lots of good reasons. I think Hellhorn is the best pair for Fade and you also get Reform Imps. It's a staggering number of reasons actually as I start to talk about it. But shall we? I don't have anything else to tell you. Slice and Dice occasionally, Inkbound over the weekend. You'll be hearing this on Wednesday, so hypothetically, Inkbound could be going up as early as Friday? Tomorrow or Friday? I'm not sure when it actually starts, I haven't looked, but I'll be recording a lot of it solo and with the boys probably, so that's what's coming up for me. Let's begin. Exile Melting Hellhorned, Pushback, Spell Shield, Patient, Molten Encasement, Fledgling, and Memories of the Melted. Molten Encasement is very good for Firelight Fade. The thing is, I've played enough Firelight Fade. I've already even gone through the whole let's talk about how you play Firelight Fade. I have nothing to tell you about Firelight Fade. I really have nothing to tell you. This start is more of a Firelight start than it is a Little Icarus start. And I think Little Icarus is bad into Patient Seraph, so my personal feeling, so at the end of this all, but unfortunately I got COVID and now we have the tier list is going to be delayed. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me, quick numbers here. We have no burnout extenders, but we have imps. I think I take this. The whole point of doing this series was at the end of it, I wanted to put out a video with Cranberry, Dusk, Gabriot, talking about champion paths, which one's strongest, which one's weakest, and all of that fun stuff. And then I got COVID, and I just couldn't. Hold on, I gotta think. This is probably the hardest fight we have. I need to not take this collector. Well, let me look at the map. Hellhorn Banner Steel Shop. I'm gonna agree. There's a chance I die here. I'm gonna play like this. Yeah, basically, we were gonna do a whole big deal. You're dying anyway, so we may as well get it better. We were gonna do the tier list last weekend. And unfortunately, because I got sick, I could not do it. And so it got delayed. But the public test for Inkbound is coming up. So I'm gonna be recording a lot of that. So and so is everyone else. And so we end up in this position where I'm not going. The tier list is delayed. I have finished the thought. So now let me condense all of that down because it was a winding path to get there while playing the cards. Let me get that into words for you now. We were going to do the tier list, and we were going to do it ahead of time, and then we were going to have the video up as soon as this was over, this challenge. But I got sick, and then Inkbound is next weekend, so it has been delayed. When was I sick? Whatever. I'm going to go Purifying Cleanse here. Of course. I almost snap picked Fortify here. It's not correct. I go then. Consumer. You go Lady of the House. Lady of the House is a very easy way to make this run, well, easy. Because she gives you 3 burnout. If there's a multi-strike here, the run's over already. Endless. I should roll this. Damn. Because there's a chance that this multi-strike is 100 gold, and then I skip this and we have a freebie. And so the reason to roll it first is because I would pick Horned Warrior there if Horned Warrior was... I would pick Horned Warrior if there was no multi-strike. If there is multi-strike and it's 100 gold, I would not pick Horned Warrior. I would skip for the multi-strike. Unfortunately, there's multi-strike and I can't afford it and no Horned Warrior. It's the worst of all worlds, but... I'm sad. I really, hindsight should have taken the 100 gold, but... It is what it is. Easy to say now, isn't it? If I take the 100 gold and then I get slaughtered for nothing, it's not very good. So, I stand by my choice. We will press on. Definitely venting the bottom floor. I mean, this fight's pretty easy, and as long as that wasn't the only multi-strike in the entire run, we're fine. Even if it was the only multi-strike in the entire run, we might still be fine. Also, it's kind of a toss-up. But I think you can still make it work. I want to let the haste happen, but it really doesn't matter here. I don't think. Yeah, because we can also see Draft here. Draft seals the deal. Okay, yeah, we're good. False alarm, everyone. Could have played Firelight Fade. There's a Welder Helper, but we would be a little behind, I fear. Okay, I will go left. A shame we can't go to the duplicate, but it's alright. I'll look for another multi-strike. No multi-strike, but that's okay. Apex Amp. Man, he keeps trying to sneak into my runs. Apex Amp, get out of here. You're not invited to this episode. He keeps popping his head in. Hey, can I come? No, Apex Imp. Get the hell away from me. I don't really want Abandoned Stave here. And I don't really want a Calcified Ember either. I'm okay. Talos? Shall we? Yeah, nothing else to do. It's 15 pack shards going into Talos. It's slightly scary. That's what I would say. This is where Torch comes in handy, because Torch lets me get 2 kills right away without having to play bottom floor. Also, if you are just listening, sorry I did not voice this part, but I did pick up a Vapor Funnel, which means that I just ignore the enemies in this fight. All of these little goobers, they just hit Fade and then go away. I don't care. Oh, wait, pushback. But Fade live. Ah, wait a minute. Okay, she burns out. Still. That was supposed to be my Fudgeland. He's supposed to be alive here. Well, I guess I can just reposition him since he's dying anyway. Sure. That's fine. There's a bunch of stuff, of course, here that we can find to turn this run also very free. Oh, this was a mistake. Like Waxer Snuffer, for example, on the list. Yeah, draft was a mistake because I could miss Fade there. Sorry, a lot of thoughts going off all at once. I'm trying to organize them. I need to stealth my lady to win this fight. I need to set up for Relentless here because I'm actually pretty sure I'm losing. I did this. Okay. Hang on. 15 times 2. 20. You go draft here. And the apprentice dies. I was thinking I had a way to kill Fade here, but I don't. Fade dies in the next turn. And that's okay. If Fade dies next turn, I should be able to reform and then replay her. And we just get this imp out. Vapor Funnel MVP here, by the way, absolutely keeps me alive, and this should be clean with the Fade replay. Well, it's not clean, but you know what? It's good enough. We'll take it. It was a little touch and go there, I think. Hollowed Halls and Intent on Death. Definitely not Hollowed Halls. I don't like Hollowed Halls with Fade. I actually think that Hollowed Halls, you have to... I think it's best played without things like Firelight, you don't really want extinguishes with Hallowed Halls. I think the best thing to do with Hallowed Halls is outside of the clan multi-strike. First thing that comes to mind is Animus of Will, because you can play 2 Hallowed Halls, that's 10-10 per turn on 3 Animus, that's 30-30 all of a sudden. And then it's, you know, you're getting like effectively 90 attack per round. Anyway, we're gonna go draw. Could go space if I probably will pick up space for this run as well. And we go removals. This is the nice part of Little Fade. I have my game plan already. I don't need to hit anything else to win this run. No, I'm not playing Legion of Wax. The problem is, why does it use upgrades and stat changes? Does it work? I think it does work, because if you give a Legion a Razor Sharp, it comes out +10 -2. I'm skipping this, but I'm pretty sure I've tried Firelight Legion of Wax before, and I'm pretty sure it's terrible. I'm fairly certain that it is horrific. I just want to relive the glory days. Large Stone Multi-Strike Legion. Remember when the game was good? Remember when you just had to find 2 upgrades in Legion of Wax and every boss in the game died from full health? I remember. The good old days. I need to count my pack shards at some point. I will try to remember. We have Lady of the House now. The other big thing about Lady of the House over Draft is that Lady of the House is draw priority. That's one of the big reasons to play it. Oh wait, I played Intent on Death. It's okay, she's burning out. I don't think I need stealth. I think I just pick off damage shield. I miss collect there also. Take 4, I don't care. Yeah, like these don't matter. And leave them intact to kill Fade. Stop the 5 from going through. I can stop them, but there's no reason. I'm going to pretty heavily lean into Vapor Funnel for the rest of this one. Because, of course I am. Why wouldn't I? I can also just play 2 Floodwinds here now. Now that everything's all settled. And we go Intent on Death. And all of a sudden everything's dying. Although so are my Floodwinds. No! Gentlemen. My boys. What a shame. It doesn't matter, because Lady of the House smokes this guy. She's, yeah, 200 damage. Easy. It's a freebie. Resin removal? I could see it. Subsuming Blade? I feel like adding cards to this deck is a why. Like, why would I? It's probably right to pick something up there, but I'm not going to. I think the only card that I need is Molten Encasement. The only card that I'm not currently playing or actively thinking about playing, but am going to need to play is Molten Encasement. At the last temple, I will self-infuse Molten Encasement, and it will act as a buffer, so the floor will be Fade, Encasement, Lady, and if Fade doesn't full tank around, the damage goes to Molten Encasement. I remove everything else in this situation from the deck, and then so let me go through this in its entirety. The problem with the idea that I just laid out before you is very simple. When you play the run like that, you can end up in a position where Fade doesn't die. Or rather, Fade dies and is not reformed. That's the problem. And the solution to that is remove so many cards that your deck is just primitive mold, so you can always reform Fade. And that is the plan we are going for here as well. There's so many stats when you Intent on Death there. Even just one death is just... That guy goes from taking 0 to being full health to dead there. Which... I think it must have been because Lady of the House was dying. As I think about it. It goes in, we vent. I don't have enough healing. Because the other way to play this would be to lean into the healing aspect. My ladies also have no... they have no stats. They have no upgrades at all, actually. I kind of forgot about that. That's okay. I don't think they need them. I did kind of forget to give them stats, though. I think if you want to be safe here, you play Molten Encasement. 2 rounds. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it matters, but let's just be sure. Oh yeah, we drop a little Intent on Death there. Lovely. You could play either one, but it's worth taking the extra like 30 seconds to think about it, because I could see that being bad. We're not... I was about to say we're not that strong, but that floor was doing 400 per round, and the boss... Yeah, the boss dies in 2 rounds. Okay. I could just see it being bad if I miscalculate my damage. Because Self-Made Harpy is scary. Kind of collapse your units. The worst card in this deck right now is Fledglingen. I get rid of that. And then we have 4 upgrade slots to fill, so we can take some garbage like 5, 10, and Rage 7. And we're looking for Multi-Strike, but it doesn't happen. Endless for Molten Encasement is cool. I take the money. I take 25 at the temple with the infusion, and then I take another money at the end, and we have 100 pack shards. Everything has gone my way. Well, not everything, actually. I missed multi-strike, but I hit draft. The only way that this run is hard is if you also don't see draft, but the reason that this run is not that difficult is because there's like 3 steel shops, and I don't think I played it wrong at the beginning. Also, that's the other point. I don't think it was a mistake to play it how I did, where I don't take the money, because that first fight is kind of scary, and I think with the money, or if you don't take the money, you have to, or if you take the money, sorry, I'll get there, I'll form a cohesive thought, don't you worry. No, if you take the money, I think you have to consider skipping the trial, because you could just die there. You'd have to look at the numbers. I might just be being overcautious, but I think you could just die there. Sorry, quick water break. With a trial, it's 10? A 9 times 2 could go through, actually. Yeah, I think you could die there. Because, so the infused enemy at 10 pack shards is going to be one of the backliners. And my deck has bad backline access, of course. It has Torch, but I can see these 9 times 2 with 5. I think it's close. I think you could actually just die. Or rather take 18 and then die in the next combat, but I don't know. It's really interesting because that's the sort of micro decision in this game that I don't know the correct answer to at the speed that I play it. And because then there's more to think about. Now I'm gonna go pretty far with this thought because there's a lot that goes into that first decision. Do you take the 100 gold or not? Because so you take the 100 gold, and the point, of course, is you're guaranteed to be able to buy the second upgrade in the shop. But there's a 50% chance that the second upgrade is bad or not what you want, because the only thing you want there is multi-strike. Endless, I don't think you particularly care for. But at the same time, if you do hit multi-strike, the run is much better. I think it's better. Okay, I'm gonna bring this one to a close. I think it's better to not take the money because the money increases the likelihood. Well, put it like this, right? You don't know what the unit draft trial is, but if the unit draft trial is armor, you cannot take it. A 9 times 2 goes up with armor, it's gonna tear you apart. Like, you're going to get smoked by that guy. And it's in that specific fight, it's definitely a 9 times 2, but in other fights, sometimes it's a healer. I think the risk is too high. I think there's too many cases where a 9 times 2 spawns in, hits your pyre for 18, and wipes your floor out. I think that's my final assessment. I think Firelight Fade is too weak because we also don't have Burnout. Remember, so the boss is harder as well. So the boss is probably going to get... I think that it's really easy to see taking like 20 to 30 damage. I don't think you would die if you take that trial. Or I think you'd have to skip the trial, basically. That's what it comes down to. I've worked this through now in my head pretty heavily, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. There really are. It's a shocking amount. But I think it ends with... I don't want reckless recruitment. I think it ends with this thought, which is there's like... It's probably fine in a lot of cases, but there are a few cases where you take that trial and then you end up having to skip the unit, or you have to skip the trial because you take the money. But then it's just it's a risk. It's definitely just a big risk. The more that I think about it, you might be okay. If it goes on a healer, you're fine, and if the trial isn't armor, you're fine. Like, with the hindsight that I have now, I'm fine. I would have been fine there. I could have taken that opening trial for sure. But I still don't think I should. I think it's wrong. I'm gonna leave it at that. I think you shouldn't take it there. Because I think it's too risky. And the other piece of this, the last thing I'll say, if you miss multi-strike in the first shop, it's not the end of the world. You still have an extremely large number of ways to get multi-strike. There's Horned Warrior, there's Draft, there's other steel shops. Like, it's not a one and done thing. I often find myself thinking like it is a one and done thing, like each run only ever has one multi-strike on it, but that's not how the game works. That's the other thing, that's the one I really have to get used to. Okay, I've worked my way through it. Because the odds that you miss multi-strike, I think, are actually pretty low. Or not low, but they are lower. I'm gonna move on from this thought. But again, it's a Firelight Fade run. I'm just finding something to talk about to fill the void here. And it's an interesting thought of, do you take that first trial or not? There's a really large number of factors that go into it. I might try to sit down and like write out every factor that goes into that after this video. Because there's there's what, 4 or 5 combats, there's 2 bosses. The other thing too, okay, I'm still going, but if it's Chains, taking the trial is guaranteed you're going to get hit, I believe. Because Chains lifesteals through so much of your damage. He heals like 18 with 10 pack shards, and you don't have a lot of time because we don't have burnout extenders. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm done. I'm moving on. What are we even doing in this run? I've just kind of been autopiloting from here because this is over now. This is 100% done. This is an open and shut case. The only hard part now is remembering to get to 100 pack shards, which I have done. No other multi-strike. It's a shame. Waxer Snuffer. Wowee. Oh, it's really over. I don't know, I'll keep the torch. I don't need so many primitive molds. To be honest with you, this doesn't matter. We all know this doesn't matter. The only change I would make to this deck, the only thing I think I overlooked, I don't need to go down to 2. I gotta get rid of Vent now, I think. The only thing I would say I overlooked here is I should have taken resin removal, but I don't think that matters. 100 of 100. You know what I'm kind of surprised about, now that I think about it? Don't you think this game should have a warning? It pops up a warning if you go, or if you try to leave an area without picking all of the rewards. Don't you think you should have a warning if you try to go to the Seraph fight without 100 pack shards? Hey, did you forget pack shards? Oh yes, I did, thank you. Doesn't that seem obvious? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, she's 26. I thought she was 16 there. I was gonna say, damn, I can just torch that. This is what we kept torch for. Nah, it's not. Let me heal you through this. You'll notice I completely disregarded Seraph even being there on the floor. With good reason. Seraph doesn't exist to me in this run. I mean, Little Fate is at 175.51. My Molten Encasement, who's supposed to be buffering, is at 200 attack. My Molten Encasement slapped someone there. Someone died to this. There is a hypothetical draw where I miss my little Fade Reform. I draw a 6 and I have... So, I draw 6 out of 8. There are 2 Primitive Molds. It's also a little worse when Molten Encasement dies. Eventually. But also Fade has 91 HP. So I guess Molten Encasement just lives. My fault. I made an incorrect assessment here. No, this is where the draw is possible, right? If I can bottom deck both Primitive Molds, because Molten Encasement... Oh, it didn't die. I can still draw no Primitive Molds here. It doesn't matter if I miss one turn of Little Fade, though. I'm sure you know that. It's just worth noting that it could happen. Because we are... Well, my Little Fade has 146 health. She's supposed to die. Close. Close one, Seraph. You almost had it. We only were doing 3,200 per round there. It wasn't all that strong. Oh no, that was more than that. That was more like 3,600. That was like 840? It's like, what, 3,400 then? Probably 3,400 or so. Damage shield. In this economy? Alright. Wait a minute. I missed my torch. Oh, wait a minute. My torch. Oh, now Fade gets stealth. Wait a minute. It doesn't matter, I guess, if Fade gets stealth because I have intent on death, but... Hold on. I don't want to take this damage. Oh, it's because this one's at 40 times 2. That's why. I took 10 damage. What the hell? How'd that happen? What a strange setup. I mean, I guess the intent on death makes this fine. It's weird because normally you want Fade to die, of course, but like... Okay. Am I about to lose a little Fade run? Hang on, I gotta start this one over. I'm not doing the math here. I gotta start this one over. I made a slight tactical error. I autopiloted a little too hard. I got a little lost in the sauce there. Let's do this the correct way. You may be wondering to yourself, what's the correct way here? Well, it's pretty simple. You skip Molten Encasement. For a while, anyway. We have to make sure Fade dies every turn before we start going on the Molten Encasement thing there. Can you believe this guy? Had to reset a little Fade run? What the hell? The damage shield there actually was a bit of a shame. Hey. Hey, where's little Fade? It's okay, we actually just put up 16 stealth here, and then I never play Molten Encasement again. Alright, that makes sense. Something up here is incorrect about this. Do I need to stealth Fade? Hold on. She gives 40 when she dies. Hits here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess I'm just getting smoked by this Guardian. Am I dead? I think I might actually be dead here, which is unbelievable. I'm gonna be absolutely out of my mind. I think I lost this. That's crazy. I actually lost this run. I cannot grasp how I lost that. How on earth did that lose? I am in shock. 40 times 2? I didn't even come close to taking damage on anything up until that. And what, the harvest? Why did I not have full health? I guess I just didn't cap my health out. I never went to a Pyre Remains. How about that? And then no multi-strike ends up getting me in the end. How about it? I was pretty sure that double extinguish Lady of the House with a draft infusion should have been fine. But you know what I think the misplay is there? I think the reason I lost that is because I played Intent on Death on turn one. I'm pretty sure that's the killer because but you get 2 rounds of it immediately, but I'm losing 2 rounds. Where did my damage go? Fade gives 40 attack per round. Oh! I see it now. I see it now. You see how I lost this? This is actually tricky. I think that it's an easy one to miss. The problem here is that so when you play Intent on Death, you are front loading your Little Fade's deaths, right? Little Fade is dying immediately and then living the next 2 turns effectively. Because normally how that would work out is Fade would die, get reformed, die again, get reformed, and then on the third turn, so first turn, Fade dies to sweep. Dead gives her stats. Second turn, Fade dies to sweep. Dead gets her stats. Third turn, dies to the boys, right? The problem I have realized now, when I Intent on Death, I'm front loading those first 2 deaths, but the other lady wasn't on the floor for those 2 deaths. And so, missing those stats, I get crushed by the harvest wave. That's crazy. Wow, I can't believe that. I don't mind that loss. It's a really interesting way to lose. It's crazy. I mean, just another example of a run where I and I'm sure everyone else thought this was unlosable, but no matter how strong you think you are, every monster train run is still losable. Every run is still losable. You can be in the most unbelievable position of your life and just have some slight oversight kill you like that. That's wild. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.